Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
When you think of the Elder Scrolls, you probably think of one of three games first. Either the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, or the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. But you'll often forget about the first two games in the series, and that's because these first two games were essentially from another era of gaming, MS-DOS. And because of the way they've aged, it's really hard to go back to them today. And unlike the newer games, they aren't very moddable. The Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall specifically did get a Unity remake. It allows the game to run on newer computers a lot easier, and it adds a modding framework to make modding the game super easy. This is the best way to play Daggerfall today in its entirety, but it still really wasn't modern enough for me. It doesn't change any of the tedious old school game mechanics. Daggerfall is a huge game, but not really for the right reasons. A lot of it is randomly generated, and so I got super excited when I heard of a Skyrim mod called Daggerfall that remakes the entire main story of Daggerfall in the Skyrim engine. This is my preferred way of playing Daggerfall today for several reasons. One of which is that it does modernize the gameplay, because the gameplay is essentially identical to that of Skyrim. This also means most of your Skyrim mods will work flawlessly with it. I was able to play through Daggerfall with my preferred Skyrim combat mods. Additionally, since Daggerfall only remakes the main story of Daggerfall, there isn't any randomly generated content there to distract you from your main quest. It's a much easier and less time-consuming way to play Daggerfall. And when I say easier, I mean mechanically, because when it comes to Skyrim, this Daggerfall mod is actually more difficult. So when you start a new game, you have the option of going into Daggerfall or going into the Skyrim main game. And if you go into Daggerfall to start this quest line, you're going to get debuffed, which will make the combat in these dungeons pretty hard. Not as hard as when I did play the original Daggerfall a little bit, but it's definitely harder than vanilla Skyrim. And while the mechanics don't stay true to the original Daggerfall, most other aspects of this mod definitely do, including music, which, if you don't know, the Daggerfall soundtrack is bomb, and art direction, which includes things like these old school tile sets for dungeons and enemies that had to be recreated in 3D. One more thing I forgot to mention that makes this mod excellent is that it is fully voice acted, and in my opinion, it's pretty good voice acting for a mod as well. And that good thing brings me into the downsides of experiencing Daggerfall this way. Unlike the original Daggerfall, this is a fully linear experience. This means no dialogue options and no side quests. While I like that randomly generated content is gone, I would enjoy seeing side quests make a return in Daggerfall. All in all though, this is the perfect way for me to experience Daggerfall myself. Between work, YouTube, a ton of side projects, and all the games in my backlog, I don't really have a lot of time to play something like Daggerfall that can be hundreds of hours long if you let it be. This mod condenses Daggerfall into a smaller experience that still contains most of the necessary lore. The point is what I said earlier. Daggerfall Unity might be the best way to play Daggerfall in its entirety today, but if you want a more modern yet condensed experience, Daggerfall might be the way to go. Regardless, if you're an Elder Scrolls fan, I recommend experiencing Daggerfall in one form or another. Anyway, that's all for this short little video. I felt like I needed to upload something because it had been quite a while. I'm thinking about doing a weekly series covering Skyrim Special Edition mods, but a lot of channels do this already, so I'm wondering if it would be something y'all want to see, or just a format you've had enough of. Let me know in the comments. Also, I've been having a lot of fun playing the Outer Worlds lately, and I've been following modding progress on that game, so as soon as there are some real mods to review there, expect a video or two. But for now, that's all for me. Peace.